Yep, that's great. So ideal investor is a busy doctor, right? They make a ton of money. They don't care what you're doing. They don't want to know what you're doing. They just know they got to put their money to work, right? Those guys are great. I started off with, literally friends and family. So I had built up relationships by being just involved in Nashville, being a commercial real estate broker. I've been involved at the Real Estate Investors in Nashville for many years. I'm a board member now. And the first deal I ever had was actually all members of the Real Estate Investors in Nashville. And that first deal, we raised $25,000 at a time for $400 grand. So, you can take as low, dollar amounts as you want, but just know that the lower you get, the more problems you may have, because typically people who can only put in $25,000, it's the only $25,000 they have. It's funny, the pressure that we felt on $25,000 was a lot higher than the guys that just forked over $250, right? Because the guys that have $250, they can lose it. They don't care. It's like, I'll just make it again, whatever, I get the risks. Guys that have 25 sometimes don't really understand that. Now, since we've got a track record of deals, we've been out there doing it, people have been watching us for years, the majority of my investors now are professional athletes, mostly football and hockey players, and professional musicians. And that's just from being in Nashville. Kind of being around. But it could be, we've got some that will really surprise you. I've got one that is a priest in the military, right? And this guy forks over $250,000 at a time. I don't know where, how that works, but he does every time. So, yeah, it's great. But yeah, you want to start off smaller. I typically recommend, the first deal I ever did was $575,000. I like to start small when it comes to syndication, because what happens if you don't raise the capital by the time closing gets there? You're out all of your money. You've got to return your investor capital. It doesn't look good on you. You want to be able to kind of bridge a gap if you have to. So the first deal that we ever syndicated, I had a partner in the deal that I knew could write a check for the down payment if we had to. Fortunately, we didn't have to. But we had to be prepared going into that, because I wasn't going to get egg on my face trying to pull off my first syndication, right? And this is 100% a reputation game. It's very similar to Shark Tank. They're not really investing in the deal. Every deal is good. Every deal has an 18% IRR. Every deal is going to get you a 2x on your money. Every deal is going to happen, right? We all know that's not true. I was talking to a lender the other day. He's like, I've never seen a deal that didn't cash flow. I'm like, yeah, of course, because everybody's doing the underwriting to make it look like it's going to cash flow. So every offering memorandum is going to look good. But at the end of the day, it's the team, right? It's the entrepreneur or the individual behind it. How hard are they going to work to pull it off? How much do I believe in that person being able to do this? So that's a big one.